We're going to clap this episode in because it's, and I've screwed it up already because it's a video. We're going to clap this episode in, and again I said the episode. Okay. We're going to clap this video in because it's an exciting one.
It is, you can tell.
It's a video dedicated to our efforts to restore nature here at Mapperton. Later on we're going to be visiting the beaver enclosure where
That's right.
we're going to discover that they've been trying to escape.
This is what happens when you give me a prop.
But they haven't managed so far. She's gone a bit nuts today. I don't know what's going on. It's all this discussion of nature. And then the other thing is that we are going to be looking for black gold in the woods.
That's
which is why we've got the fork. You may be asking, what kind of black gold? Well, you have to just keep watching. But it's pretty exciting. But before we get to those things,
yes,
there's some Mapperton news.
Which
is that we woke up this morning, and this sometimes happens at Mapperton. You wake up and you think today's going to be a good day, and then somebody sends you something. So if I bring out my phone, I can show you the photo of what was sent to me today.
We literally jumped out of bed, didn't we? I mean, we were like...
Well, you're smiling. I'm not smiling.
No, I know, but
this is not funny. We've been, you know, this was a good start to the video, but this is actually really serious. So one of the eagles at the front of the house has blown over in the storm, which sounds like it might be a manageable thing until you realise that it weighs half a ton, is made out of lead, and might fall off at any moment. So we've instantly got a crew of people, Raymond and Darren, coming to try and fix it. Anyway, that's one bit of news.
Yeah, that's one bit of news. And I do smile, by the way, when crisis hits, because I just think...
Keep smiling.
You just have to keep calm and carry on.
Keep calm and carry on. Okay.
So that is one bit of news. And we also just want to say a huge thank you to our patrons, our Mapperton Live patrons, who do help support, again, this part of England's heritage, and in particular, repairs like these, the ones that we'll be seeing.
So things like the eagle falling off, suddenly that's probably, I don't know what that's going to cost, but it's going to be many thousands. And these are the sorts of things that we are seeking to get support for through this channel. And people have been immensely helpful. And as Julie says, if you want to support this important part of England's heritage, please join us as a patron. And we're extremely grateful to all of them.
Details down below.
The other thing is we will, of course, feature the repair of the eagle in an upcoming episode. But you've got something else coming.
And
another crisis.
Yeah, you saw his sad face, and I was trying to stay happy and keep calm and carry on. But it is a big deal, you're right. But the other thing is it has been a really tough week for me, everybody. Like, probably one of my toughest weeks, because since 2018, I've been hosting yoga retreats here. And it's the only time that we have sort of paying guests in the house. And this year has been an absolute nightmare. As many of you know, or maybe you don't know, but this country is having constant problems with rail strikes. Every month there are rail strikes, and there are 3 rail strikes in this month, and 2 out of the 3 days are when 2 yoga retreats start. So everybody had their train tickets on those days. That is basically 22 people who I have been having to deal with, working out how to get them here, because we are...
But you have managed. This story has a good ending, doesn't it? People are arriving, even if some people are coming a day early.
Yeah, people are arriving, but that's going to be in a future episode. So I'm going to be documenting preparations for the yoga retreat and really how I've managed to get everybody here. It's quite something, to be honest. It's quite something.
And you've also got all the prep that's going to go into these yoga retreats, and we're going to give you kind of behind the scenes footage of all of that, looking at recipes and things like that. But kind of back to today's video, one of the new things that we wanted to do on these videos was have a regular segment, which again is something we can smile about, because neither of those things were particularly funny. Rail strike, fallen eagle. What else could happen today? Because things normally come in threes, like London buses. Anyway, fingers crossed. We are going to give you a historic house
word of the day.
No. Oh, God, we've talked about this. we've
historic house word of the week.
The week, exactly, because otherwise we'd have to do one every day, wouldn't we?
It's true.
And this week's historic house word of the week is...
finial.
Finial. Finial.
Anyway, we're going to talk about that a little bit later. So we're going to...
No, we're not. We're talking about it now.
I thought we were going to go show it when we talk about it.
No.
Oh.
No, we just talk about it and then we magically put some B-roll on to show it. We don't have to be there to do that. So
you gotta go look for that black gold.
Is a kind of ornamental end to something. And in the case of Mapperton, we have these amazing heraldic beasts that are finials on the roof. And they are from the Tudor period.
Yes.
And, but you can also have a finial at the end of a curtain rail.
Yes, you can.
So a finial is just an ending thing. And your French will tell you that the word fin means...
I only know Italian. Fa
Finito.
Is finished.
Finished, exactly. Fin, finial, end. There we go.
Okay.
I think we've done that
right,
one.
that was a brilliant word of the week.
That was a good
Yeah,
word
I
of the
learned
week.
something new.
If you like word of the week, historic house word of the week, let us know in the comments
do comment down below.
And you may have some other words that you can suggest. So I
think you'll probably be coming up with most of those words.
I don't know that that's true.
It's true.
Where are you off to?
We're off.
It's this way.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Okay. Good morning, James.
Good morning, Luke. Pleased to meet you.
Very nice to meet you too.
Thank you.
Who have we got here?
This is
Well,
Jack.
shake your hand too.
Yeah, hi. This is Jack, who is a Labrador who is 6 years old, and he spends his life doing what we're doing today.
What we're doing today is quite exciting. In fact, it's probably one of the most exciting things we could possibly be doing on the estate because it revolves around good things to eat.
It does. We are hoping to go, well, we're going truffle hunting. Whether we should succeed or not is another matter.
It's another matter. And this part of the world, is it a good area for truffles, English truffles?
You need the right geology and the right trees, and part of the estate has the right geology. We want limestone or chalk, and you have some limestone, so that is where we shall head to.
And it's not worth going anywhere where you haven't got limestone and
No,
chalk?
some of the areas off those geologies are pretty wet, and they want free draining soil. Yeah. They want plenty of lime in the soil, so just those areas.
Yeah. And these are white English truffles?
No,
Black?
they are a type of black. People think black truffle is the ultimate answer, but saying black truffle is like saying deciduous tree. There are many types of deciduous trees, there are many types of black truffles. We
therefore think that there might be some truffles on the estate. If we find them, we have to keep the whole thing a secret, don't we? So we are not going to be giving away our location. We're not going to be telling you what wood we're going into. We may have the camera simply pointing at the ground because this stuff is black gold. It's valuable, isn't it?
They are. We can, our entry point, a small one, if you multiple upwards, is about £900 a kilo.
£900 a kilo. We don't know if we're going to find any truffles today. I really hope we are.
So do I.
But it's quite interesting to have a look at a truffle and possibly a little smell. So, James, you've brought one for us to see.
It's a couple of days old, but there will still be an aroma, so get your nose in there.
Oh, my goodness. Oh.
So that's what we look like.
That's what we're looking for.
On the outside, this is when they're washed and polished, they have these black irregular warts, and this one has actually been served to guests. And so inside, we've sliced it finely over the dish that they were given. Right. And so inside you've got this sort of wonderful marbling of brown and sort of white veins running through it. You don't know unless you look. You know, the location ticks some of the boxes. Yeah. So you need a bit of the luck of the gods as well.
So let's look up at those gods and hope that they are smiling on us, because we're going to now go off, get into the car and head off to a secret location.
We want to be working at right angles to the wind, so sort of up and down in that direction, and starting downwind and working back up.
Okay, so we can go down and cut through.
Yeah, this looks great in here.
Yeah. So what are the optimal conditions for Jack? What does he need?
We need breeze.
Bit of breeze.
Which we've got a little bit of today. A little bit on the still side, but not that there is some there. And yeah, just nice open woodland like this. We've got a plant called Dog's Mercury I can see, but that's fine. And we've got some clearer bits, and you will get clearer areas around the trees where you've got the truffle fungus growing.
And what signal does Jack give you?
Jack will scratch the ground lightly, so it's sort of a gentle bit of a dig, and then he'll stare at me intently and tell me that I should be giving him a piece of cheese. So we have this business relationship. He finds truffles, I pay him in cheese.
You pay him in cheese. Oh, brilliant.
The dog is the accurate bit, and he knows if there's a truffle there or not. It's over to us to then precisely find it. Occasionally, he will actually knock it out of the ground and say, you've got it exactly. But occasionally, but more often, it's we don't know where it is. We've then got to try and track it down, either using our highly trained noses or just gently digging. But it is all. I'd say to people, think time, team and rare Roman vase. It is not take a spade and do a great big hole because you're going to damage the fungus. It's extreme gentle
extraction. Because the one thing you don't want to do is chop up your prize truffle.
Correct, you don't want to damage it, yeah.
So we're walking across here. Does he want to explore in here, or would he be picking up a scent?
On a windy day, he could pick it up from sort of 30, 40 plus metres away. There's a little bit of breeze today, but I suggest we get him in, put him in this side.
Yeah.
Hey, Jack, sit. Do some work.
So exciting. So one thing he's not looking for is pheasant.
Yeah,
you might get distracted.
There will be a whole raft of animal scents, deer, badgers, squirrels, hares, etc. You can't proof him totally, but part of his young training was to go on a footpath near to a pheasant pen, and he sees a pheasant, I call him, and he gets him his breakfast. So he thinks food is more exciting than pheasants.
It's simply conditioning to know that there's a lovely reward at the end of finding.
It's that association between truffle and food. Good boy, come over this way.
Jack, how are you getting on?
Anything to report?
No, not much, alas, yet. Anyway.
Let's keep you sweet with a piece of cheese.
Yeah. Cheese.
Excuse me. Manners. Thank you.
So it's cheese, not sort of doggy biscuits?
Biscuits are dry. If I was rewarding you for good behaviour with bits of cream cracker, I think you'd be rather dry and bored after a little while.
I think you're absolutely right.
So this is...
It looks like red Leicester.
It is, yeah. It's
red Leicester, there you go. Fine British cheese, I know.
The perfect
not
cheese.
Not a French cheese.
No.
Since we're looking for English truffles. Right, shall we crack on and see where we get to? We can,
okay, carry on.
We carry on through this way?
Yep, go on, Jack. Go fine.
So Jack has been off the lead. We've been getting really excited. There was a moment when he looked like he was getting excited about something in the ground, but it was
pheasant bone
or something like that.
Yeah.
So we thought that it might be interesting, instructive, fun to actually plant something and see whether Jack can find it. And then we get to see Jack's excitement.
So I've got in my back some truffle fresh out the freezer this morning, so it smells almost like fresh truffle. And we can have a game of hide and seek.
Okay.
I can give it to you, and you can go and hide it.
Shall I go and hide it?
You can hide it.
That would be fun. Okay. And what do I need to do? I need to sort of dig down about a couple of inches?
Just stick a finger in, an inch or so, push it down and just push the soil back.
I have to make sure Jack is not looking.
And you need to make it somewhere where you know where it is. Okay. Like there's an obvious stick nearby, an obvious tree.
I'll do something like that. Okay.
Fine.
But Jack, you need to be wearing blindfolds for this.
We will look the other way.
You can look the other way. Exactly.
What do we got? So again, enjoy your nose in there.
Okay. Yeah. Well, the really important thing is that we can find this afterwards, as you say, because we do not want the slightest bit.
It's gone a bit defrosted, gone soft.
Okay. So you're all right with me burying this as long as I put an X to mark the spot. Ooh. Right. No looking.
Wait. No, you're not looking either.
We've got this fantastic piece of truffle here. My goodness. So, without Jack noticing, I'm going to go and find a suitable position and bury it. I think somewhere about here. So I'm going to dig down. Ugh. I really needed to bring my trowel for this. Right, and we shall just stick him in there. Right, so there is the buried black gold. And then I need to do something to sort of, what do you think? I think if I've got 2 sticks like that, it's fairly clear where I've buried it. Let's see how Jack gets on. Right, James, Jack.
It's done.
Oh, he can smell something, can't he? He can certainly smell something.
Manners,
Look
boy,
at that.
manners.
Right, Jack.
Sit.
I've heard extraordinary things about your
Excuse me.
nasal talents. And
You know you're going to play the stick and look silly. Well done.
then let's see what happens. Right.
Right. Go find. Where is it? Good boy.
Now, if this was one of my children, I'd be saying warmer and colder. But I'm not sure Jack's going to understand that.
Good boy. Fine.
Getting a bit colder over there, Jack. Yeah, that's warmer. Definitely warmer. Definitely getting pretty warm.
You got. Good boy. Where is it? Good boy. Good boy. Down. Lift. Down. Wait. Don't eat it. Thank you. We got. Thank you. Thank you. I've got it. There we go.
That didn't take long at all, did it?
Good boy.
Oh my goodness.
The key thing is, Jack, we've got to pay Jack. And good behaviour earns cheese. Good boy.
Good behaviour earns cheese. I think that could be good for children as well.
It's quite a good profit margin on a piece of cheese for a truffle.
It is a decent profit margin, isn't it? James, thank you so much for coming here.
It's been great fun.
I'm sorry we haven't found a kind of natural Mapperton truffle yet. I think there's truffle in these woods, but we just haven't got there.
One day.
So, you know what? We might carry on looking, but we're not sure we're going to tell you about it.
Yeah. Off camera. Cut.
Off camera. Cut.
This week's video is sponsored by the wonderful Beaufort and Blake. And we love their clothes, don't we?
We do. Beaufort and Blake now supply all my favourite shirts. Can I show you one of the reasons why? So this one that I'm wearing here, which has got this check pattern on it, it's got these lovely sleeves.
I know, I love those.
And inside there's a different material. In fact, there are some very old vintage cars there, maybe a Land Rover or two.
But not a 1957 Corvette.
Not a 1950.
For the American Viscountess.
That's Julie's favourite car. But anyway, today it feels a bit like Christmas. It's not Christmas, but a package has arrived with some of their finest clothes.
Yeah.
And this is from their Made in England series.
Yeah, so this is their Made in England collection. I'm going to open mine first, just to show you. And I think it's wonderful that, Beaufort and Blake is really looking at where, oh, it's beautiful. I'm going to hold this up, everybody, where their clothes are made. And this one, I'm going to put it out here. The tags are still on, but you can see. So this one is a beautiful, amazing cardigan, and the lamb's wool comes from Australia, but then the yarn is spun and dyed in the UK, and it's knitted in London, and the tortoiseshell buttons are from Scotland. So there you go, made in England.
It looks super warm as well, because these days very few clothes are actually manufactured in the UK, which of course is why this is a Made in England collection. And in my case, I've got this amazing crew neck. It's what I would call a jumper. You'd call it a sweater, wouldn't you?
I would.
And again, this is lamb's wool. It's 100% lamb's wool. It comes from, or the wool itself comes from one of the finest British suppliers called Z. Hinchcliffe. And they are one of the last remaining spinners in the UK. Again, it is spun, it is knitted in London. So this is just an absolutely wonderful thing, and it'll be a real treat to wear it.
Look at, we kind of We didn't exactly know that our outfits would be working perfectly. This is another Beaufort and Blake shirt that I'm wearing here. And with this lovely cardigan. Look at that. It's super smart. Let me just pull your collar up.
I think this is the only jumper that I've got that is actually made in the UK. So that's a rather nice thing.
It is rather nice.
Made in England.
You should just give it a little twirl.
She can do a twirl. I'm not very good at twirls. But
this is definitely going to keep me nice and warm during these
colder autumn evenings.
Exactly.
Autumn?
Fall.
Fall.
Thanks, Beaufort and Blake.
Yes, please do support Beaufort and Blake. There is a coupon code that gives you 15% off. It is Mapperton House 15. And if you help our sponsors, you're also helping Mapperton as well. So thank you. Let's go through. Right, Ben, where are we off to?
So we'll probably just go and have a look at where the sort of the bank gave way. Have a look around there, and then we can sort of see some of the big beach that's sort of they've started chewing as well.
We are back at the beaver enclosure, and I'm trying to be a little bit quieter than normal because they could be there.
They could be, yeah, they could well be, yeah.
They could be. I'm back here with Ben, who's the ranger here at Mapperton. The beavers have been here for a month?
Yeah, nearly a month now.
Nearly a month.
Yeah.
And we haven't been back with cameras since then. Or maybe we did briefly.
Briefly,
but we didn't see much.
That doesn't count.
Doesn't count. So really we're here to see what impact the beavers have had on the landscape in the 1 month that they've been here. It's been absolutely fabulous having them here because it gives you a real sense when you're at Mapperton that there's something you want to go and see because you know they're out here being industrious little things. Yeah, so Ben, what have they been doing?
Well, they've been incredibly busy really. In the first week monitoring them and seeing what they've been doing on the trail cameras, they were walking a lot around the enclosure, so that's normal, good sort of normal behaviour.
Do you mean checking the perimeter,
yeah.
seeing how far they can get to?
Yeah, and also checking out the grills as well. There was one that was sort of climbing. I think it was the male. He was sort of climbing up against the grill, and you could even hear him just tapping away at the metalwork, just sort of having a bit of a chew. Obviously realising that he couldn't get through it. The other day I came and the pond was empty, so there was a bit of erosion going on.
This was a catastrophe. Okay, Ben has been at Mapperton for a few months now, but I've never seen somebody walk into the office looking as ashen as you were on that day. And I said, Ben, what's up? And he said, there's no pond anymore. And I thought, oh, catastrophe.
Yeah.
But what had happened, do you think?
So I noticed it a couple of days before, and it was you could sort of hear a bit of trickling, and there's a bit of the bank that had eroded away. And I was hoping, I put a camera nearabouts, and they were slowly damming it up, trying to fix it. But I think one evening it just gave way.
So the bank gave way and the whole of the pond slooshed its way down into the stream and into the Brit.
That's it.
In one go.
In one go, yeah. And then I came the next day and I sort of looked and I went, pond's not there.
All right, well, shall we go on in and have a look at a couple of these places? Ben, we are now standing roughly where the beavers were released. You and I had the we had the traps.
We had the heavier one out of the two.
We did have the heavier one, didn't we?
But yeah.
So we released them there, and this area was all mud at that point.
Yeah.
And one of the amazing things that has happened is that the pond water level has gone up because they've dammed over there.
Yeah.
And so the size of the pond is increasing.
It's increasing, yeah.
Which means we're getting more wetland. And having more wetland is a really good thing.
Yeah, well, it gives them more of an area, so they feel, as you said earlier, they feel comfortable. They can tuck away.
They feel safe.
Those predators.
But it also provides habitat for lots of other things. So we can't see quite from here, but it's on that far side, isn't it? Where
on that far side,
where the dam
burst. Or not the dam, it was the actual bank.
The bank burst.
The bank burst, yeah. And then I think it's just because there was a load of mouse holes on the top. And as they've been filling that water up so much, that water just slowly seeped into where the mouse holes were, and that sort of just made the bank then erode from that.
So it was the mice that did it.
Yeah.
Ben, I can see there's a camera over here.
Yes.
We've had one camera on there, so we can probably show some of the footage.
We can show that
of the beach being
nibbled.
Nibbled. So, and are they using the lodge? Because one of the things that you and I spent quite a bit of time doing was building that lodge over there.
Yeah. They have been inside it.
Yeah.
I don't think they're using it now.
They're not using it now.
I think it was for their first couple of nights. It's sort of somewhere to tuck away and have a look round. But no, they're not using it now, unfortunately. I think we should head on up and see a bit more disturbance.
Bit more disturbance. Okay, let's go this way. Oh my goodness. Ben, when you said a beach,
yeah,
I thought you meant a little kind of spindly sapling.
No, it's a big beach. Yeah, they started.
This is absolutely astonishing. Do you think when they're doing this, there's two of them or one of them, or what's?
It's mainly just one of them.
It's one of them.
Well, that's what I'm seeing in the camera. So I have got the camera just on that hazel,
right,
just behind us. It's sort of looking down, but it's mainly just one of them.
And and this is ring barking.
Yeah. So
is that right?
Yeah,
is that the phrase?
Well, they'll start stripping the bark off, and then they'll start having a chew. So that's all. This is
all fresh.
And that's just fresh. That was
fresh beaver.
That was last night.
Now I do know that beavers can take trees down that are this size.
Yeah.
But
it'll take a while.
I mean, the sadness would be that they don't take it down, but they kill it because they've ring barked it. At which point, obviously, it would then die and collapse, which isn't a bad thing in a forest.
Standing deadwood's always great for insects.
Yeah. But look at this astonishing chip.
Yeah.
You know, because their incisors are basically like kind of really sharp scalpels, just kind of cutting through and breaking off these big bits of wood. We go see the dam.
So they've added more to the.
Oh look, here is the dam.
One of the dams that I've made.
So this dam is now very effective, isn't it? There's hardly any water coming through at all, which means almost all. Has this now backed up?
This is backed up
to the point where
nearly where the inflow is for the pond.
Where the inflow is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've essentially created another kind of pond for them.
Yeah, exactly. They use this a little bit, but I haven't seen too much activity in here. But they do slowly start adding a bit more.
Right.
Sort of, but you can see another willow over the other side of the pond there that they've had a real good chew on.
Oh yes.
Right
oh my
outside,
goodness.
Right outside the lodge.
How are we going to get over? So Ben, we're coming up to the edge of the enclosure here.
Yeah.
And I can see that we've got another beech.
Maple, I think.
Is it a maple, this one?
Maple. Yeah.
Oh, it's a maple,
yeah.
You've got and this one is really being attacked.
Yes, yeah. They're,
oh my goodness.
They're going.
Look at this. So, but you've done something with this one?
Yeah, so I've just put the mesh around it, so that's just the rest of the mesh that we've had left over from the fencing. So I've just put some mesh around it just so they stopped, because it's too close to the fence for my liking. So I don't want to come one day and it to be over the edge of the fence and for the beavers to get out. So
you're basically thinking if this tree falls, it'll take out our fence.
They're very good at where they fail their trees and they know exactly where they're going, but I just wouldn't want to exactly trust them.
Take the chance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
the problem is they've already had a really good go at it. So the tree might die.
It might die.
Just based on what they've already done.
Yeah.
So we'll have to watch this one.
We'll have to watch this one
over the coming months.
I thought I'd better put some wire around it.
You get in there, yeah. There's no gnawing through that, is there? So here is one of the camera traps, and if we open this up, this camera trap is called B2, which I happen to know stands for Beaver Cam number 2. Is that right?
It is right, yeah.
Yeah, he's having a good look, isn't he?
He's having a look round, yeah.
Yeah, he's not happy.
No.
He's not happy that you put this wire up.
I was just here last night.
He just thought, yeah, I've put in all this effort.
But I think that's obviously why now they're concentrating their efforts on the beach, and also that.
I see. So they've moved away. He's given up on this one.
So they've sort of understood that there's sort of no chance now.
Yeah, isn't it brilliant?
From every video that I've seen, they all look very healthy, very settled.
Yeah.
That night the pond washed out. I did come round here at night and have a stand round listen just to make sure that they didn't go with the pond. They didn't flush out.
I see. Flush down the bottom. And Ben, I think all that remains is to thank you.
Yes.
And last word, what do you think is the next big thing that's going to happen here?
Next big thing I think is hopefully they'll fell that tree over the pond, and that hopefully let in a bit more light. I think they'll get that down before Christmas.
Yeah.
So hopefully
we'll
see
and
that.
Kits. When might we get some new beaver life?
We won't be until next year.
Won't be till next year.
So we'll have to stay tuned for that and
okay.
keep on watching. But.
All right. Well, absolutely keep watching, and there's going to be so much more beaver activity over the coming months. It's going to be so exciting to watch. In the meantime, I'm going to take these back to my kids.